You were just premiered on Shark Tank last week.
We were, yes.
Unbelievable. What do you think resonated most with the sharks? Tell us maybe a little bit of that story. What can happen to a person if they get stung?
You don't die. I've heard it described as having your hand set on fire and then being repeatedly hit with a hammer.
For how long?
Hours.
Oh, man.
They operate by the precautionary principle, which means that a chemical is guilty until proven innocent, which is good. We are the opposite. The chemical is innocent until proven guilty. And so there are hundreds of chemicals that are outlawed in the EU that we use wherever we want here.
Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you've not already. Every like and subscribe is a free way to support us, expand our reach, and help plant new ideas. Welcome to the podcast. You are the CEO, founder of Nude Foods Grocer, a zero-waste grocer in Boulder and Denver. You're a scientist, a scuba diver, an entrepreneur, recently on Shark Tank. Welcome to Plant Frequencies. Share a little bit about your upbringing.
Yeah. I grew up in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are biologists. They met up there. They both went up for work. They had temporary jobs and fell in love immediately and wanted to stay. And they're still there and they will never leave.
Where in Alaska?
In Anchorage.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad was a seabird biologist and did a lot of field work. So I grew up going out in the field with him every year and getting to have very cool outdoors experiences,
Mm-hmm.
Getting to go to places and interact with wildlife in a way that you don't normally get to do.
Were they biologists, you said?
Biologists.
Oh, okay. And so then how did that kind of shape your view on the world?
They're just both very into conservation. My mom especially is a very hardcore environmentalist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how I was raised. And I just always wanted to do some type of work in the environment when I got older, but I didn't know what it was. And there's a lot of environmental work that doesn't necessarily feel like you're doing much.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to do that. So yeah, but it was just always steeped in it from birth.
Mm-hmm. So Alaska, how long did you stay there?
Till I was 18
Mm-hmm.
and then moved down to Colorado to go to CU.
What did you study there?
Ecology and evolutionary biology and environmental studies.
And what were you hoping to do with that then?
I did not know, and I didn't like that. It was I figured that I would figure it out when I graduated,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is what a lot of people think. Probably a lot of us didn't really need to go to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me, I didn't need to. I just went right into sales.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad I went to school. It definitely, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am without it.
Yeah.
But did not know what I wanted to do afterwards. My plan was to just try things until I found something that fit.
Did you have any type of scholarship or support with school?
Yeah, I had a couple of merit-based scholarships,
Nice.
which was good because I
That
was coming
helps.
from out of state.
That was the hardest part about school for me, was the debt afterwards and then getting out of it. And I'm out of it now, but it's like, holy cow.
Congratulations.
For a lot of people, it's like, it might be a forever thing.
Yeah, I know. I remember when Obama came and spoke here, he was like, I just got out of student debt 8 years ago and I'm the president.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? What is the current state of student debt? How I know is Biden kind of froze it for a little while. I think if it's student loans, I wasn't I didn't have any debt when that came on, but is that something that that you keep an eye on? Are you aware of what's going on with student debt at all?
I'm pretty fortunate to not have it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really
Mm-hmm.
nice. And that has helped allow me do what I'm currently doing.
It gives a lot of freedom.
It does give a
Mhm.
lot of freedom. Yeah. I just think that we're pushing too many people to go to school that shouldn't, and pushing people to go to school when they don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
And then you just go and waste money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
And time.
Yeah. And I think it's, a little bit of a tragedy
Mm.
because we have all these people just laden with debt for no reason
Mm-hmm.
when there's so many other options. Or at least, wait a few years and figure out what you want to do with your life.
Mm-hmm. Or go volunteer like you did.
Sure. Yeah.
And then that gives you a lot of insight into just the working world as well.
Yeah. I have this thought.
Mm-hmm.
So we have AmeriCorps, which is an awesome program. What if that was not necessarily required, but if that was the norm after high school, that you did 1 year with AmeriCorps or something similar.
Mm-hmm.
So you get put somewhere else in the country. You're getting exposed to different things. You're learning skills. You're volunteering. You get, a living wage, or not really a living wage. You get a stipend.
Mm-hmm.
And you get some perspective on the world. And then you can decide if you want to go to school or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's really hard to make those life altering decisions when you're coming straight out of high school. And some people have had chances to get some different experience, but a lot of us have not.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I got lucky that both my parents, really my whole family, was in sales. And so I just always knew that I just wanted to be in sales.
Yeah.
It came naturally to me, and I sold things through my first business, a landscaping business. I just go door to door and pass out flyers pretty much every evening. And just sales came easy to me, and I really enjoyed that. And college to me was really just networking and making great friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that we get along. I don't want to do sales.
You don't want to do sales? Yeah, right. Yeah, there's definitely a balance. You're more of like the operator, integrator. I'm more of like a sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we've had some threads of collaboration and seeing where we might be able to just work together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then that takes you to, so you graduated, and I'm remembering there was a little bit of a kind of a fallout within yourself. You're like, what the heck is even going on? What is all this? Share a little bit more about that moment.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was thinking I would just like try different things until something felt good. But that very quickly didn't feel good. And I was just stuck in this existential crisis of like, does any of this really matter?
Mm-hmm.
And why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's easy. I think honestly, that's a lot of what an environmental studies degree does to you is it makes you feel real depressed about the state of the world. And it doesn't introduce a lot of opportunities, which is a shame because there are a lot of opportunities. And especially since I've gotten into the startup world, there's so many cool things happening and people doing amazing things. And it would be great if that was more part of our education.
Yeah, very interesting. How might Boulder support that more? Because I came to Boulder because I saw it as the Silicon Valley of the natural products industry and for the community, the naturally Boulder, now naturally Colorado. Is there anything that you think the city could do to support this entrepreneurial ambition that our town has? Because we got unbelievably educated, smart, talented, wealthy, passionate, entrepreneur leaning community here.
I mean, I think there's more the school could do. Like the, Lead School of Business does a lot in the entrepreneurial world, but the rest of the school doesn't do that much. And there's so many startups happening. And there's all these students that need experience. Why aren't we matching them up more? Like it could be awesome experience for students. If the school could sponsor internships for students to go and work at some of these startups and get some real world experience and help a lot of these mission driven startups that are really struggling when they're starting out. I think that'd be amazing.
Who was the average student at CU when you were going there? Because there's a little bit of a maybe a misconception or a like, what's the demographic of who's at school with you?
I was surprised when I came to CU because I did visit it, but I visited during the summer. And so I didn't experience the student body. It was a little different than I was expecting. A lot more people from California and Texas.
And those people live here too.
Yes.
A lot of people move. And I'm also seeing people moving from Boulder to Austin now as well. But a lot of people from California and Texas vacation here, move here. That's how I found my way to Colorado. This was always our family trip, was coming out for a long weekend to ski.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people.
A lot of more. Chicago sends more people to Colorado than any other. I think of Chicago as a state. Illinois sends more people to Colorado than any other state.
Really? I do meet a lot of people here from Chicago, so that makes sense. Yeah. I guess I was, this stereotype of the Boulder person is a little more hippie leaning and a little more granola-y. So I was kind
Oh,
of
the resident.
the resident,
Yeah.
which I was expecting the same with the student body, and
Mhm.
that's not the case.
In other news, because of GMOs, monocropping, and soil depletion, Americans are not getting enough nutrients. That's why in 2018, I founded BeMicro, the first freeze-dried microgreens company in the US to help Americans get more natural nutrition in their diets. Microgreens are a phase in the plant's life, and they're just 14 days old and naturally the most concentrated in vitamins, minerals, and unique antioxidants. Our microgreens are all grown here in the US and certified USDA organic and regenerative organic. We grow, wash, and freeze dry them to extend their shelf life from 1 week fresh to over 1 year, allowing us to ship anywhere in the US without the worry of spoilage. We have 2 flavors: broccoli, backed by over 2,000 studies on sulforaphane for its powerful detox benefits, and a blend of broccoli, radish, and red cabbage, our most powerful detox formula that we've tested, giving you the most bang for your buck. Easily sneak these into any meal: eggs, pizza, pasta, or even your kids' mac and cheese. We have whole leaf, powder, and capsule options, so you can choose the way that works best for you. Use code PLANT15 to save at BeMicro.farm. What does AI look like in your world today?
What does AI look like? AI is tough because, we are a sustainability driven business, and AI is right now not very sustainable. But at the same time, we're so mission driven, and we have already made our lives so hard in so many ways that we can't just be like, yeah, we're not going to use AI because you have to
Increase efficiencies.
yeah. And we're already making our lives hard enough.
Mhm.
So I mean, there's not a ton of ways that we can use it just yet,
Mhm.
but it definitely helps in small day-to-day tasks, but it's not like a huge part of what we're doing. We do have some like custom technology products happening that we just use internally.
Hmm.
And like our
Like inventory tracking or
yeah, inventory tracking, we have a lot of different systems. And so just like keeping everything on the same, making sure all of our information is consistent across systems and website, order fulfillment, all that stuff. And so the developers we work with definitely use AI for everything.
Mhm. Do you have like a personal edge with AI? Is there a line or a limit for yourself interacting with it, working with it? You can plug it into your brain when the iPhone 30 comes out.
I don't think I will ever plug AI into my brain.
Same.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I feel pretty strongly about that one.
And I don't think I'll ever go into a spaceship either.
Oh,
I don't
yeah?
think I'll ever leave the Earth. I don't want to.
Okay.
I think it disconnects it. It's like when I feel the most me, I'm the most connected to nature. I'm deep in nature.
Yeah.
There's no nature that we know of out in space.
Yeah. I don't feel a huge drive to go to space.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'd be a hard no on it. If someone was like, "Hey, you want to go to space for free?" I'd probably say yes.
Yeah, maybe just like up and then right back down. But
Yeah.
I'm not traveling to Mars. I'm not spending
Oh,
extended period
I
in.
don't want to live there.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. Right. Mhm.
But I think seeing the Earth from space would be a very magical experience.
A lot of astronauts say that.
And that was the start of the environmental movement.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the first time that we sent, what was it, Voyager, I think,
Mm.
into space.
Hmm.
And well, there's two pictures from space that were taken that were very impactful. One, it was the first time that we sent astronauts up, and they took a picture of the moon,
Hmm.
and it was like half a moon. Took a picture of the Earth, and it was half a Earth, like how we see the moon when we're on Earth.
Hmm.
I think it's called Earthrise,
Okay.
and that was the first time that humans had seen the Earth from space.
Yeah.
And that was very impactful for people because you're just seeing everything,
Hmm.
your
Where are the
whole world.
borders? We're all connected.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just right there. And then the next one was the Voyager spacecraft that we just sent out as far as we could. I think it's still going. And when it got basically just before it got too far away to see the Earth, they turned it around and took a picture of the Earth. And it's this pale blue dot just in the corner. And that's where the pale blue dot came from.
Oh, okay.
Carl Sagan.
Oh, okay.
That, everyone you've ever known,
Mhm.
everything you've ever been or will be is on
Mhm.
that pale blue dot.
Hmm.
And it's just like this little smudge in
Mhm.
this huge, vast expanse. And that was also really impactful for the way that people thought about the Earth. And, it looks kind of fragile, just
Mhm.
hanging out there in the universe.
Do you think we've been to the moon?
I do think we've been to the moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think we've been to the moon?
Oh, there was an astronaut or somebody at NASA that just said like a month ago, it's like, we're going to go to the moon for the first time and we're going to go through the whatever it is, go this far. We've never gone this far before. And you see some of these astronauts acting really weird about it. And it was a
Yeah.
big part of, at that moment, it was we were in some kind of a race with Russia. There was like, with the Soviet Union. And it's like, we wanted to be first. And there was like a big pressure to do it. But I think it's a great conspiracy theory. And I love leaning into those. And I think it's not beyond our government to make something like that up.
All right. I do think, regardless of if we went to the moon or not, or whatever, the achievements that we made in space travel in the 60s are a really good indicator of what humans can do when we put a lot of time and resources behind it. And it just shows you that if we wanted to solve something like climate change, we could do it very quickly. We just need to put the resources behind it, and we haven't done that yet.
I think that's where AI is going to come in. It's going to be so inexpensive to solve these things. And right now, there's the thought that it is, causing more climate change because it creates so much. It's negative towards the water. I don't know what that's about, because it needs a bunch of water to cool it down, or why that's such an issue. But they're also making the AI increasingly more efficient too, like the computers. But then they're making as many of these data centers as they can. So it's like, while they're getting more efficient, they're building, way more than they can. Right now, I just heard this yesterday, there's about $2 billion per day being invested into AI infrastructure.
Wow.
And about $1 billion per day being invested into the war machine.
Oh, nice. Interesting. Just think if we invested that into fusion research.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on fusion research? I don't know much about that.
It's another thing that, it's funding for it has stopped and started, and that's really delayed gains that we can make. And I have a friend that is a fusion researcher.
Okay. Is that close to nuclear?
It's totally different.
Oh, okay.
So it's what's happening. Nuclear is fission, and this is fusion. So it is nuclear fusion, but it's what happens on the sun naturally. And it can be, basically, you have to create a plasma that's really, really hot. I think it's 100 million degrees Celsius
That's hot.
that it needs
That's
to be.
the sun hot.
Yeah, that's the sun hot.
Wow.
I think we've gotten to like 30 million degrees. I think. Could have my numbers off. But basically, if you create a plasma that is that hot, then that's the environment that you need for fusion to happen. And it can create net positive energy. But right now, it takes so much energy to get it that hot that we haven't been able to really make it work. And then there's also a big material science problem, because the materials wear down very quickly because there's a lot of heat happening.
Yeah, what can hold that?
They use the electromagnetic field to contain the heat, actually. There's problems with turbulence. It's a whole thing. There's a lot of problems to solve. And there are very smart people working on it. But, if we had 100 times that many people working on it, we'd probably make a lot more progress.
Well, that's where you can just spin up these AI agents.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And these AIs, I mean, they're moving at the speed of light. They hold all the memory, and you could just deploy thousands, millions of AI agents at anything. I saw recently that Denver deployed AI in a 90-day study, the city of Denver, across 18 of its organizations, or like business units, and it increased the efficiency in just 90 days. Guess by how much?
500%.
70% in just 90 days. In just 90 days. And this was in, I think 2024.
Okay.
So that's like 2-year-old AI, where I didn't even know AI was even a thing then. ChatGPT was barely even here then.
Denver's on it.
In that kind of a way.
I would love for the government to be more efficient.
Yeah, me too. And I think there's amazing people that work in government. I mean, people are like, the DMV, it's terrible. It's like, well, the people are sweethearts. Every time I go, I'm like, these are sweeties. And it's just their own inefficiencies that they're working with. And Denver has gone from a 15-day permit for just like a light, small construction permit to almost 60 days.
I have been through the Denver permitting process.
Oh, yes. For one of your, to share about that.
That was rough. Yeah. Part of it was just being very naive about the whole process. But what I found to be the main problem is that there's no one you can go to at the city that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can help you with their piece, but no one can help you with the whole project.
Hmm.
And so there was a lot of going back and forth, like this person said this thing and this person said this thing, and they don't align.
Yeah.
And you're just going like, we had this very frustrating thing happen towards the end. We're getting like our final approvals, and we
At your
need,
grocery store in Denver.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
we needed the inspection from the fire department and from the building department.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both telling me that the other one had to go first. And I went back and forth multiple, and it's not like you can just like get these people on the phone immediately, you
Yeah.
know? And then finally I did get the fire inspector on the phone, which I will say every inspector I worked with was amazing and people were so
It's the
helpful.
people are amazing. It's the system that they're within,
Yeah.
and I think almost like the culture that they're in of getting things done.
Yeah. But finally she like looked into it and figured out what had gone wrong and like straightened it out for us. And I mean, there were so many times like that, you know, an inspector, one of the people reviewing the our application or whatever it is, just like really helped us out and whatnot. But if you could have like a case manager
Mm-hmm.
to just
Denver did recently roll out a chat bot that's like in 70 languages. So this
That's
chat
cool.
bot can connect into the different systems and help to navigate you. And you can be like anything from, hey, here's a pothole to I want to apply for a construction permit.
Yeah.
Boulder doesn't have anything like that.
Boulder
Doesn't
get
have
on
any
it.
dashboards. Actually, probably the most politically charged part of Boulder, the police station, has multiple dashboards. They don't have full transparency, but they have a lot of dashboards that you can see real time what's happening. There's no other part of Boulder government that has any dashboards. There's no. Another example is homelessness is a huge issue in Boulder, and it took them from the city council voting to have a day center because there's these like places for the homeless to sleep, maybe for up to like 200 homeless people. There's a place for them to sleep, but there's nowhere for them to go during the day.
Yeah.
And so the city council unanimously voted 9-0, like everyone was in favor of it, to create a day center. It took the city 2.5 years to then make it happen. So it's like, even when everyone's like, yes, this is
Yeah.
what's happening, this is what the people want, and the city's Boulder's spending $3 million a year, working this housing situation, homeless situation as well. So it's just inefficiencies in the government. I think there's really sweet people in local government, but it's unbelievably inefficient. And I heard the mayor speak recently. He said, because he's been on the podcast, and he said homelessness was a big issue and inefficiencies. And he asked the person that's in charge of running the city operator, like, how come this is taking so long? They're like, yeah, we take a really long time, but we do it right. And it's like, okay, but this is where I think AI could come in and bring transparency. People should know what's taking so long to help put some positive pressure on the or maybe they're overstaffed or excuse me, understaffed. Maybe there's really high turnover. I don't know how long people stay in government. I don't know what the issue is, but I just think it's the inefficiencies in government is where my kind of passion and interest is right now.
Have you read Abundance?
No.
It's all about this.
Oh, really?
You would
Okay.
love it.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's really lays out exactly what you're talking about and just how like the US has lost its ability to build,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to build a lot of infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
to electrify everything. He talks about AI as well to solve homelessness, to
Mm-hmm.
solve our housing crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to be able to build things efficiently, and we have completely lost the ability to do it.
What do you think are the key traits of a local politician? If there was a Boulder, Denver, Colorado politician where you're like, this person is doing these things, that's the kind of person that I would vote for. That's the kind of person that we need in 2026.
Actually honest,
Mm-hmm.
not all politicky, but just genuine and honest and tells it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really nice.
That'd be really nice. It's insane that they're allowed to lie. We can't lie to the government, but the government's allowed to lie to us and each other, and there's no consequence. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think focusing on issues that actually impact our everyday lives, I think it can be, the government can the issues that politicians like to talk about aren't really the ones that affect us. Like, our food affects us more than anything else that we do, more than anything. And no one's talking about it.
That's
A
the first
little
line of
bit
our
now.
health.
Yeah. We put it inside of ourselves. We have a very
It
intimate
becomes
relationship
us.
with food.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
we don't talk about it. And that's crazy. And I think, and it's a little different with local politicians. I think local politicians are a little more tuned into local issues. But yeah, why don't we talk about?
Yeah, so honesty, integrity, and food.
Not just food, but
Well, that's what I'm hearing so far.
Yeah,
But yeah,
sorry. I think, I don't have kids, so I probably have different things that are important to me than others. Schools are important.
Safety. That's an edgy, topic in Boulder.
Yeah.
With the number of homeless and when the mayor was on of Boulder, he said that our homeless rate has doubled in the past year. And it's hard to
year.
Yeah, it's hard to count. And he was on actually last year. He was on maybe 6 months ago. But he said it went from 400 to 800 homeless, and we only have beds for maybe about less than 200.
See, I think those numbers, as I've heard these numbers before, it's not that many people. 800 is a lot of people, but
it's almost 1% of the population in Boulder. We have about 100,000, I think.
Yeah.
Half of those are like CU students, college students.
I just think that we should be able to solve a problem for 800 people. It's not like it's 8,000,
Yeah, 8,000. I wonder what it is in Denver. Denver being a sanctuary city, they bring in a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then I think some of that overflow comes up here.
I have looked this up recently. I think Denver's like 6,000.
Wow.
But it's a much bigger city.
And they're, actively welcoming them in. But I feel very unsafe in Denver. You go down 16th Street. When I go down 16th Street today, I don't really enjoy it. It's not like the vibrant mall that it maybe was at one time. It's more of you hear people just shouting and screaming, and it's like, whoa, how do we help these people, or how do we? It feels uncomfortable when there's people that are in. The mayor said it's mostly from heroin addiction, and heroin takes over the person, where they become a zombie, like the heroine's in charge, whatever that means. So they have lost their minds, and to have people around, it's just an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, I think it's really sad that we aren't able to take care of people in our society.
Yeah. My dad is involved in a organization in Illinois where they take in people that are alcoholics. They put them on a horse farm. They recently just bought this huge horse farm, and then they rehab them at the horse farm. They're working, building fences, digging ditches, helping with the horses, helping them learn skills. And they're all living together in sobriety. And then they're learning skills that they can then apply once they graduate out of the program. I think we need more things like that. It's like, how are we helping people?
Yeah, I think the housing first. We just need houses. We have all these empty office buildings in
almost
downtown
50%
Denver.
of the office buildings are empty in Boulder.
Boulder too. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense to convert them into apartments. Like financially, it's more expensive to do that than to just tear them down.
Oh,
but dorms, you already have a bathroom on every level. You add a kitchen. It's like communal kitchen, communal bathroom per level. And then you just offer really low rent living. Because that's what we've done, is we've taken away all of the low rent options. So then you have people falling into homelessness that wouldn't if there was another option.
It's not just people that are on hardcore drugs. It's also people that were just at the edge, and now they're living out of their cars. There's a lot of kids that are homeless as well. It's not just, the stereotype in my mind is these are bad people. And that's not who all homeless, or even many of the homeless, are. There's a lot of crime and violence and, sad things happening too in those ways. But there's a lot of good people that are homeless that just fell off the edge. The average person has less than $1,000 saved, maybe less than $100 saved. So they have no safety net, and it could be just you or I. Someone just like you or I just can't pay our rent, and we fall into homelessness.
Yeah. I think that people are mostly products of their environment. I don't think anyone's like a bad person,
Mm-hmm.
but we were all raised in different ways that shaped us. We all have
Mm-hmm.
different genes that shape us, and that kind of creates who we are. It doesn't just because someone's doing bad things, I don't think they're a bad person. I think that they've had a tough environment.
Do you believe, like from like a spiritual standpoint, I believe there's angels and there's demons, and when we weaken ourselves, it's easier for these like non-benevolent, like maybe more harmful energies, entities to glob onto us, almost like these parasites or these just like vampires.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many possibilities out there. I don't pretend to know what is happening, but yeah, I think if you're surrounded by positive energy and positive people, you're going to absorb that. And if you're surrounded by the opposite, you're going to absorb that. And it's really hard to, like, if you're surrounded by negative energy, it's really hard to clear that out and stay true.
How do you take care of yourself? You've got so much going on, 2 grocery stores, big staff, lots of expansion and just hard work that you're doing. Your job is, and when I look at it, I'm like, that's a hard job. And I love being friends with people that are doing really hard work. They're doing it in a creative entrepreneurial way. Really admire you for the work that you're doing. How do you take care of yourself? How do you stay in a good way?
A lot of things. I have really good friends, which is
Mm-hmm.
one. I have very good support system, very supportive family. It just definitely just like helps.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I cold plunge,
Where do you do that at?
usually in my yard,
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
just in a stock tank.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing fancy.
Do you put bag of ice in it, or how do you get it real cold?
In the winter, it's cold enough.
Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't work in the summer, but
Mm-hmm.
in the winter it does. In the summer, I go in the creeks.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely exercise and trying to, if I'm feeling a lot of stuff, like specifically trying to work that out
Mm-hmm.
through exercise and movement has been very helpful. Spending time in nature,
That's number one for me.
it's a big one.
Yeah, movement in nature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think stillness in nature is also good though.
Mm-hmm. True.
Hanging out with trees,
Mm-hmm.
it's good.
Do you ever climb trees?
I love climbing trees. These trees in Colorado are not as climby, but I
I
lived
find
in
them to be very climby.
yeah. I
Pine
guess they're
trees?
just like really sappy and stuff.
They can be. I spend about 5-6 hours every weekend
Yeah.
climbing trees. Yeah,
Wow.
I just set aside that block on Saturdays or Sundays, and I just go out and I spend time climbing trees and
When I lived in Hawaii briefly, and there's some good tree climbing there.
what kind of trees?
I think they're baobab trees,
Hmm.
but you can get like 50 feet up in those
Oh, fun.
things.
I find the
Yeah.
pine trees you can too. You just got to break the dead branches along the way, and they're kind of like ladders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They
I'll show
yeah,
you. I'll
it's
show you my
true.
ways. You just bring some gloves. I might have an extra set of gloves for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do for our Christmas tree every year. My dad is he covets his view, and he doesn't like when the trees grow up into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a Christmas tree, I just climb the tree and chop the top off
Oh,
of it.
perfect.
It's great.
Perfect. A little Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Yeah. They're not the most beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the tree just keeps growing around
Yeah,
it. and then-
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you ever communicate with the trees? Do you pray with them? Do you tap into their who they are?
Yeah. A
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Some of them, the ones that want to be tapped into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that look like? What is your maybe a first connection into a tree look like for you?
Asking permission.
Yeah.
Because,
Yep.
you don't want to just run up to someone and hug them that you've never met.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then just feeling it out, see what the vibe is like,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of sit with it.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Yeah, same for me. I introduce myself. I say, "Hi, my name is Stephen Cowan. May I pray with you? May I trim your branches? May I, connect with you?" 99 out of 100 times, it's a yes. And then I just intuitively pray for whatever it is that I want help with. I typically go into nature for clarity. I'm like, there's so much in my head. Help me to just know what the next best move is. I don't need to know 10 moves from now,
Yeah.
just the next move. And it brings clarity. And if things are stuck, it helps to move it. It helps to just make things that weren't obvious.
Yeah. That's awesome that you get that clarity.
And then the spirits of the land too, as you go back, again and again, I feel the spirits, it's all speaking to us all the time. The birds, the wind, the trees, the felt sense, the intuition, it's always speaking to us. How do you feel that spirit, God, creator speaks to you?
I think I'm still learning that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
My teachers share that the number one way is through intuition. And so really quieting the mind. I know you're a strong meditator.
I don't know if I'd say I'm a strong meditator.
Well, you've done some big meditations.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Vipassana.
So that's like you've connected into at least the vein of that in a good way. So if we quiet our minds, typically in nature, for me, it works the best. It's just that it's just like, it's like, where did that idea come from? Where did that knowing? Where is that? And that's the first way that God speaks to us. The second way is through our dreams. And so I'm practiced in remembering my dreams. And then I work with somebody that helps me to translate dreams as well. And we are every character in our dreams. And that's the second way that God speaks to us. Third way is through synchronicities, like, whoa, I just saw that person again, or it's just like, that's whatever the deja vu or something like that happens. And then the final way is when I stub my toe or I get an fender bender, and then that's like God being like, hey, listen up, slow down, or look at this, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to distill it. All of my best ideas have come to me when I've been like in nature and without anything for my brain to do for long periods of time. Like the idea for Nude Foods came to me when I was hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail.
I just wanted to get into that. Share about that, because was that after your volunteer days?
Yeah. So
and I'm sorry, and for the volunteering, was that with Reef?
Yes.
Chelsea, we were in Bonaire last year.
Oh, nice.
And she is, I don't know all the names of the levels, but some level to where when we're out there, she's got a notepad and she's surveying all the fish.
Very fun.
Yeah. And so then while we're underwater, she's pointing to the notepad and be like, that's that fish and that's that one. So that's amazing. And that's all for Reef, through Reef. Sure, her dad's like been doing it for a lifetime. And
cool.
Yeah. Nice. I think he's got the award for the most surveys in Bonaire, and Bonaire is considered one of like the top scuba diving places in the world.
Yeah, Bonaire is where I first learned about Reef.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and where I first learned about lionfish.
You've been to Bonaire then?
I did a summer study abroad program there that was all scuba diving based. We literally had our tests were like underwater, identifying fish and corals and whatnot. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
So Bonaire had a very big effect on my life trajectory.
Bonaire is a very interesting place. I mean, it's right next to Aruba and off the coast of Venezuela. It's a Dutch settlement or territory. Yeah. So it's like most of the workers there that are not indigenous are Dutch, and it's like there's a 10-lane highway coming from the Netherlands to Bonaire, and there's like just like a rickety back road from the US down. And I was talking to a business there that imports beef from the US and Canada, and it's cheaper to send their beef from Canada and the US to the Netherlands and then down to Bonaire.
That's so silly. It also has the highest point in the Netherlands. It's like 800 feet.
Oh, okay. On the island. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we climbed it.
Oh, nice. I can't scuba dive anymore. I blew out both of my eardrums scuba diving. I had sensitive ears as a kid and had some work done on them, surgery. And then one scuba diving, I just blew both my eardrums out. No. Got on the plane. And then after like a couple of days, my like head full of water, and the pressure just poured all of the water out of my ears. But that was one of the most satisfying feelings I've ever had. I'm still chasing that feeling.
I could see that.
But now I have to wear earplugs and I could just snorkel. But snorkeling's still beautiful there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we plan to go back sometime later this year. Yeah, Chelsea's dad lives there for 6 months of the year.
Oh, wow.
Just scuba dives all day, every day. Man, it's so healing to be in that water.
Did you guys have lionfish when you were there?
Not that I saw. And I remember you saying that they've gone to deeper waters from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think you had actually told me about it before then from our last podcast, because you were one of my first guests. And thank you for taking the chance on me and early on. But you would share that with me, and when I was there, I was looking for a lionfish like taco truck. Somebody said it, but it wasn't the season for it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there used to be lionfish pizza. That was the first way I had it.
Oh, okay.
But it's just, I mean, we've done a pretty good job of controlling them, so there's not a lot anymore, which is
Now,
cool.
what I see them doing is trying to grow a lot of coral.
Mm-hmm.
And then I interviewed the woman that was the head of like Save the Turtles or the Turtle Rescue, another failed podcast. The audio completely failed. I brought all this equipment down and the audio didn't work and whatever, but I hope to interview her again. And then we got to go out with them and dig out some turtle hatchlings.
Wow.
Yeah. And one of them, and we saved the life of a turtle because it wasn't able to dig itself out. And so they were able to dig one out that was stuck down there. They released it in the water, and it's amazing. A baby turtle is like instantly knows what to do.
Yeah.
It's like boom, right into the water.
Like this big.
That big. It was so cute.
That's so cool.
And they don't quite know how the turtles know how to navigate, because they go from Bonaire to, you probably know better than me, to Costa Rica, then to like somewhere else. They go to like 3 different spots. And so the Save the Turtle initiative, they're trying to communicate with each spot, because then a lot of people eat the turtles too.
Yeah.
And there's not many left. There's like a couple hundred left. But the indigenous, they're very poor there. They're allowed to fish and eat whatever they want. So they try to bring them work in different ways, but they don't quite know how the turtles are able to navigate. And they're solo animals. They're not like going in a school or a pack or anything like that. They think there's some type of a magnet in their brain. That's their best guess. And they are magnetically pulled to these different spots. And that's how they're able to find their way back.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Turtles are cool.
Turtles are super cool. Yeah. And I think, what is the Disney Pixar movie that's got the turtle in it? Finding Nemo. That really helped the campaign for turtles.
Yeah. We need movies like that.
Yeah, we need more like that. Exactly. What else showed up for you when you were in Bonaire or when you were volunteering with the reef?
So Bonaire was when I first learned about lionfish and was introduced to the idea of eating invasive species as a method of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is the best idea ever. Why aren't we doing this all the time?
It's an unbelievable idea. I never heard of it before you shared.
I know. It makes so much sense.
It's a win-win-win.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of solutions to environmental problems that are like that.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to do more work with lionfish. So after that, I did a study abroad program in Panama, and I did my independent study project on lionfish. I went back to Panama again and did more work on lionfish. And then I got this internship with Reef because they work on lionfish, and did more work with them. I've dissected a lot of lionfish.
Why?
They're just studying them. It's interesting that lionfish, some of them actually get fatty liver disease because they're eating too much because the native fish aren't afraid of them. And so they can just gorge.
Oh, they're eating other fish.
Yeah, they're predatory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why they're so damaging.
And nothing's eating them.
Nothing eats them because they have venomous spines.
Oh, wow.
But there's an important distinction between venomous and poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
So venom is injected and poison is ingested.
Oh, wow.
So if you eat like a poisonous mushroom or a poisonous berry, that can kill you. But venom is not in the meat. The meat is perfectly safe. It's only in these spikes. There's like these little venom sacs at the bottom of the spine.
Oh, wow.
So the meat is safe. And that was a big hurdle to get over at the beginning of the lionfish invasion, was people thought that they were poisonous, and they're not. They're venomous. You do have to be careful.
What can happen to a person if they get stung?
You don't die. I've heard it described as having your hand set on fire and then being repeatedly hit with a hammer.
For how long?
Hours.
Oh, man.
But heat denatures it. So if you do get stung, you can put like as close to like the hottest water you can handle on it. That helps a lot. And then so if you just leave a fish out, not on ice, it'll denature fairly quickly. If you do freeze it, that does preserve the venom. I definitely stabbed myself with some frozen lionfish multiple times. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
again, I dissected a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never that bad because they'd been dead for a long time, but it did, like, after a while, it made my hands super itchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where's the lionfish come from? Like, what's the story of the lionfish kind of invasion?
Yeah, they're from the Indo-Pacific region, so, like, all around Africa and Asia and India, but they're a popular aquarium fish,
Hmm.
and people sometimes get an aquarium and get some fish, especially saltwater water aquariums are a little bit harder to take care of than people might think. And they get really excited about it and then they decide they don't want to keep it,
Yeah.
but they don't want to kill the fish or I guess give them away. And so they're like, this fish lives in the ocean. I'll just dump it back in the
Oh
ocean.
no. Oh no.
Yeah. And eventually enough fish got dumped into the ocean that they met each other.
Mm-hmm.
The entire invasion can be traced back to 8 female lionfish.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where are the lionfish today? So we know Bonaire.
Yeah, they're all the way up the East Coast. I think they've been found as far north as New York in
Whoa.
the summer, and then all the way down to Brazil in the south.
Whoa. And they're pretty good eating.
They're delicious.
And it's kind of on the human to do this because there's nothing out there that's eating them.
No, but everywhere that there's divers, basically the lionfish population is controlled. It's when the deep areas or the places that people don't dive that it's hard. Because it's been a really successful campaign.
It seems like that'd be a really fun campaign.
Yeah.
Because you were a part of that for how long?
It was just a 5-month internship with
Mhm.
Reef, but we would host derbies to get people to go out and get as many as they could, and talks and lots of education,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
What do they
delicious.
taste like? I mean, I've never had one.
Yeah, it's a really delicate white fish, so it's like it doesn't taste fishy at all. It's
Mhm.
just like really mild and flaky and nice.
Unbelievable.
Quite pleasant.
Well, I would love to see more entrepreneurship around the lionfish.
Yeah, there have been some people that have been trying to make a market for other parts of the fish. Like some people have made jewelry out of the fins because they're very beautiful fish.
They are beautiful.
And you can, use them to make like earrings and pendants and things like that. You just cover them with like an epoxy. And that's pretty cool.
I'm
Yeah.
more interested in the meat part of it. Like, let's feed people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have to figure out how to get them from the depths. There's
Mhm.
just not like that many left that are
Mhm.
accessible.
Hmm.
And you have to spear them. That's
Even
the only way to get
I would just think that if they're all along from New York down to Brazil, they've all moved to the depths because they've been derby fish so hard.
Well, they're only going to be where there's little fish that they can eat. So that's why
Mhm.
they're around reefs a lot.
Oh,
Because
okay.
there's a lot of little fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because they're not huge. So they need like baby fish or small fish species that they can eat.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other invasive fish in the Bonaire area or that you're aware of?
There definitely are. There's a Mexican devilfish.
Mm-hmm. I would guess that's in Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just came across a headline on it, and I think we shared that headline. But yeah, it's interesting that there's invasive fish out there. There's certainly invasive plants. That invasiveness kind of brought you. Well, maybe that I'll let you share. Go into your story from your hike, the Pacific Trail.
Many days, brain can just kind of like hang out.
Mm-hmm. Sounds luxurious.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that now.
Mhm.
So basically, I had another idea for a business, and I was trying to figure out how to do the meat because I had been vegetarian since I was 15. I'm extremely anti-factory farming. I think it's one of the worst things, one of the worst atrocities that we commit as humans, and we should not be allowing it to happen. It's so bad.
It's bad for us too.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
having Andre of Jacob's Farm on Regenerative Farm, he shared. Here's an interesting stat. How long do you think the average factory farm cow lives? If it was just, lived for as long as it could live, they didn't slaughter it based on its living conditions and the food and
Probably a handful of years.
about 2 to maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
Guess how long a cow lives in a regenerative farm where it's living a natural life?
I think
eating
it's
grass.
in the teens.
Yeah, it's 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So a 2 to 3 year cow versus a 15 to 20 year cow. He's like, that 2 to 3 year cow that we're eating and consuming the milk, the cheese, the butter of, all of that, that's a sick animal.
Yeah.
That's why it's only living for 2 to 3 years, because it's sick. So what's it do to us when we're consuming sick, anxious, depressed, scared, animals?
Well, and you have all of the people that are working in that industry that are forced to work in, maybe forced isn't the right word, but might not have other options, and are working in this very, very, very difficult environment and having to commit atrocities.
Yeah.
And what is that doing to their psyche? And then what is that doing to everyone that they interact with? And just, whole community, there's a ripple effect from that. And it affects all of us. And I think just letting that happen in our society, even though we like to push it away and say, no, we don't need to think about that, I do think it has an effect on just the overall zeitgeist and the overall psyche of all of us.
Yeah, the energetics of it, it's all contagious. And we take that on. And I know when I eat meat, I try to only eat meat from Golden Hoof. And so that's very clean meat here. And that's where I get all my eggs, my meat, my cheese, my dairy, my protein and fat. And then all of the fruits and vegetables I get at Nude Foods or at the farmer's market when that's available, and just try to have it be as clean as possible. Because if I go out to a restaurant, well, there's going to be seed oils on it. And then the meat is just like, I just feel like an anxiousness in me after I have it. And I think that anxiousness of the animal can translate to us being anxious.
Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety in our society. Like a lot. Yeah. And I mean, it's tough because, not everyone has access to good meat.
Yeah. It's more expensive, but it's really not that much more expensive.
But I just think that we need to set a new standard of what's acceptable, because what's happening right now is not acceptable. And we should not be allowing it to happen.
And there's gag orders around it. Is that what it's called? Or it's like you can't,
gag laws.
Yeah, where you can't film. You can't like expose it. It's like all this stuff needs to come to light. That's how it heals. Like just when it's living in the shadows like this and people don't know about it, how can we work it?
Yeah. This isn't happening because farmers want it to happen. It's happening because corporations want it to happen. And it is all for the benefit of really just a few corporations.
Yeah. It's all for their profit.
Yep. The whole system is designed for their profit. And it doesn't, and it's put under this guise of like, oh, it's more efficient and this is the only way to feed the world. And that's not true. This is the only way for you to maximize your profits.
Kevin of 5 Freedom Dairy was on, and he's been in the room with the executives of these big corporations. And on our podcast, he's like, it was like a bit of a tell all. And with it, he's like, no one is advocating for the health, the well-being of these animals. He'd be in the room, I don't know, 30 people, and everyone's like, money, margin. Yeah. And it was like, well, what about how these animals, these living beings are doing? And he was the only one. And he wasn't listened to.
Kevin's amazing.
He's amazing. He's an angel.
Yeah.
We have a lot of angels around here. We do.
Yeah. And the way that Kevin interacts with his cows is just, he loves them so much. Yeah. You can't tell me that the way that he's raising his cows is wrong in any way.
Of course.
It's
beautiful.
And you can taste it. Like his products taste better than anything else you'll have. I had a layover in Iceland a couple years ago, and I got some skyr yogurt, which is a type of yogurt that Kevin makes. And I tried it, and it was like nothing compared to his. Yeah. And it's an Icelandic yogurt.
Oh, wow.
And I sent it to him, and I was like, Kevin, yours is so much better.
Yeah, because he just does it in a beautiful way, a clean way. It's like a win for everybody.
Yeah. And I mean, you can taste it in so many, like we always get comments on, how fresh our food tastes or how high quality or whatever it is. And it goes all the way back to, even the soil that it was grown in. And you can't measure all of these things necessarily, but everything has an effect. Like the second we start producing food and growing food differently than the way nature intended, like Nature's been doing it for billions of years.
They've got
Kind
it
of
figured
nailed
out.
it.
Yeah, right.
And then we come in and we're like, oh, we think we can do it better.
Yeah, we think we need
can't.
glyphosate on everything.
Yeah.
And we need to protect it to where we can't even sue the glyphosate companies anymore.
Glyphosate.
Yum. Yeah, not only do they use it to for like ready Roundup corn, so I guess it's to fight off like weeds and pests, but then they also use it to dry the fields so it's uniformly dry, so when they're harvesting it, the harvester can just harvest easy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's insane.
And now we're like, oh, we have to have it because it's whatever the reasons are, but now it's like protected to the same way that the vaccines are, to where you can't, if you get sick from glyphosate, you can't sue them anymore.
I just want to put a pin in what you said, that literally for crops like wheat and oats, they are just sprayed all over with glyphosate right before they are harvested. So they have like the highest levels of glyphosate of really any crops.
And we wonder why childhood cancer is on the rise, because it's in everything. It's like in every cereal and every pasta and bread, and it's just everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we sit there and scratch our heads about like, oh, why is there an obesity epidemic? Why is everyone dying from cancer? Why do we have all these diet-related diseases, which are the leading cause of death in the United States? And it's because our food has been designed that way. Like our food, I mean, if you take obesity, our food has literally been designed by scientists to make us want to eat as much as possible without filling us up. It's been designed to do that because if you do that, you buy more. And
it looks and tastes like food, but it's not really even food.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think people quite understand, like, we know processed food is bad for us and all of this, but I don't think that we really think that it was designed to be bad for us. It was designed to make us eat more. Like we all think, oh, you can't eat just one potato chip because it was designed so you can't just eat one potato chip.
And there's no nutrients in it, so your body's hungry for nutrients. Yeah. You're like, I got to eat a whole bag to get a sprinkle of nutrients. This podcast is brought to you by BeMicro, organic freeze-dried microgreens for easy, everyday nutrition. Sprinkle them on any meal and enjoy the benefits. Shop now at BeMicro.farm and use PLANT15 to save 15% off your next order.
The food, like I said before, we have a very intimate relationship with food. We're putting it inside of our bodies. It affects us more than anything else we do. It's a very important choice. And right now, we're letting a handful of corporations make the choice for us.
But they're doing a good job. I trust them.
The problem is we do trust them.
Yeah, we do.
Like we go into these grocery stores and we think, yeah, I can put this food in my body. I can have it.
If it was bad for me, it'd be illegal.
Yeah. And it's not.
But in Europe, it is. In many parts of the world, it is.
Glyphosate is illegal in Europe.
And different form, like our Wheaties in the US is different than the Wheaties in Europe, or the ketchup, or the whatever, the McDonald's burger.
Do you know why that is?
Because they have better food laws?
Yes. They operate by the precautionary principle, which means that a chemical is guilty until proven innocent, which is good. We are the opposite. The chemical is innocent until proven guilty.
Wow.
Yeah. And so there are hundreds of chemicals that are outlawed in the EU that we use wherever we want here.
Where are you optimistic on the future of food in the US?
I mean, I'm glad that it's finally starting to be part of the conversation. There's finally starting to be some conversation around some things like artificial food dyes, which is just such low-hanging fruit, like really easy to get rid of. So I am optimistic about that. I think that people are becoming more aware of it, but I think that people feel very overwhelmed by it. And it's really difficult to think, I think if there's more than like 2 things that you need to remember about your food, you're just going to give up. You don't want to be like, oh, I can't have dyes, and I don't want to eat glyphosate because it's not going to say that in the ingredients, so I need to look it up. And then there's that one preservative that's not good, but the other one is okay. And which one was it again? And that's too much. You don't want to do that, which that is literally the reason that Nude Foods exists,
Mm-hmm.
because we want to do all that work for customers so that you can just come in and not think about it.
Yeah, you make it easy because you've already done all of the looking at the ingredients, the sourcing, who's making it, and how. Share more on that. Like, what is the process at Nude Foods?
Yeah. So, we have several things that we don't allow, like artificial preservatives, corn syrup, artificial colors, kind of your things that you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it's kind of past that test, there's different things that we try to prioritize. So, can we get it in bulk is a big one. Can we get it without the packaging? Is it local? Does it have something extra exciting about it? Like, is it an upcycled food, or is it regeneratively grown? Or, is this type of food just really sustainable for another reason, like being an invasive species?
Mm-hmm.
So we are a zero waste store, and we do prioritize that as much as possible. But we have other products
Zero waste by having glass jars
instead
mostly.
of plastic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That the customer can use and bring back.
hmm And then we wash them and refill them. So again, just trying to make it as easy as possible.
Mhm.
Trying to be as similar to regular grocery shopping as what everyone is used to. The main difference is that our products are healthier, more sustainable, and more local.
Mhm.
And you bring back the jars when you're done so that we can reuse them.
Mhm.
That's it. The
Mhm.
rest is the same.
And was that you were just premiered on Shark Tank last week?
We were, yes.
Unbelievable. What do you think resonated most with the sharks? Tell us maybe a little bit of that story.
Yeah. So we got investment from Kevin and Robert.
Those are great sharks.
Thanks.
Kevin's a great marketer. I mean, he puts himself out there
He
a
does.
lot.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
kind of a wild way. He wears wild things.
He does.
Watches on both wrists,
Yeah.
and he's a great at getting on camera.
Yeah. So it is just a handshake deal on the
Mhm.
show. We are still going through everything with them, so it's not finalized yet.
Mhm. I feel real good about it.
Thanks, Steven.
Mhm.
But Kevin had invested in Blue Land, which is actually a company that we sell at Nude Foods. They do like soap tablets and other like cleaning supplies and things like that, like laundry detergent, dishwasher. The idea being you don't have to have water to make soap. You can just have the soap.
Mhm.
And there's no reason to ship water across the country
Yeah.
and use these giant containers to contain it.
It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of fuel. It's a lot of
Yeah.
environmental impact.
Yeah. So you just need this tiny little tablet, and then at home you drop that in a bottle of water. It dissolves immediately and creates your soap.
Hmm.
It's great. And it's pretty cost effective too. So they're a really cool company. They were on Shark Tank a few years ago, and Kevin invested in them. And through that experience, he saw how much people care about plastic. He thought it would be a phase, and he was like, no, people really want to get rid of plastic in their lives.
Mhm.
And that was the reason that he invested in us, because he saw that through Blue Land.
Hmm.
So thanks, Blue Land.
Nice. Shout out Blue Land.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's definitely what got him on board. He did think that he kept calling us crazy chickens, because he was like, you guys are doing a really complicated thing.
It is.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what makes it so complicated? I mean, I've gotten to see behind the scenes through you a few times, but there's so many SKUs, there's so many brands and products, and different shelf life, and help people understand what it's like to run a grocery store like you're doing.
Yeah, so groceries are already complicated and difficult, but generally in a grocery store, you receive product and it comes in a box or a can or a bottle or whatever, and then you put it on the shelf and you're done. And instead, we receive product in some sort of bulk container, and then we package it into our own containers, and we have to label it, which means we need to make labels for all of those. And then we put it on the shelf.
Mhm.
And then we have to make sure that it's staying fresh, and the quality control is then on us.
Mhm.
So it's a lot.
Mhm.
It's a lot more
That's where it's good to have
difficult.
these internal systems and processes really built out in a good way.
Yeah, and it's really hard to do on a small scale
Mm.
because there's so many different moving parts.
Mm.
And so we really need to be just a little bit bigger than we are right now to kind of make everything work cohesively and make sure that we can be doing everything efficiently.
Mhm. What's the most enjoyable part about the job for you?
Okay, so I'm going to cheat a little bit
Disallowed. There's almost no rules. There's almost no rules.
Nice. So we have, our employees and our customers and our vendors, and they're all so wonderful. And just getting to interact with them and support them. And, for the customers, it's being able to provide this service that people really want and are really happy that exists. And, we've had people cry before when they come in the store because they just have wanted something like this for so long.
Wow.
And getting to help people. We had a customer who her dad died, and she, just didn't have the mental capacity to cook for herself for a while. And she was so grateful for our meals because they're fresh and they're organic and they're healthy and they don't have plastic, and just like taking that weight off was so helpful for her. She was so grateful. And that's, people don't feel like that about other grocery stores.
Yeah. Or other products or about almost anything.
Yeah. So just like seeing the impact that we are having in people's lives and how we're making people's lives better is amazing. And that's why we're doing this, right? And then, from the vendors side, like helping to tell vendors stories, and like Kevin is so amazing, and being able to educate customers about his product and why it's better and how he treats his cows and how delicious it is. People are stoked to hear about that. And for new vendors starting out, I was just telling you about this electrolyte company that is brand new in the infancy, like hasn't sold anything yet, but we're able to almost be an incubator and help these companies get be their first retail outlet and really help them along and do so much. Like normally it's like you versus the retailer. And we try to be much more of a partnership and work together. And because I had a different food company before this, I've been through the process. And so can kind of give some guidance around that and whatnot, which is awesome. And even do some collaborations on products and try to create products that even more fit our standards. And then the employees are we have such good employees and they care so much. And being able to provide a healthy and positive work environment for people has been really rewarding. And that part I didn't even think about when we started.
You have such happy employees. Every time I'm in there, I'm like, well, look at all these sweeties.
They're good. Yeah, it was funny. A couple of weeks ago, we were having like our morning stand-up meeting, and one of our vendors walks in. She's just like, it's good vibes in here.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've probably pitched you on this before, but the idea of you or somebody at Nude Foods interviewing your vendors and using that as education that can just be collaborative.
Yeah. I have done it a little bit and I want to do more.
I can help you with that. That's
right.
part of what I help people do now. That's
Let's
part
do
of what
it.
this is turning into. Yeah.
Cool.
We could figure out a nice way to do that.
Nice. I had this idea for it of which I've only done with one, Fred, our kombucha guy, and then the sound was weird. But
yeah, that happens. And that's such a bummer. It's happened to me so many times.
But my idea is to interview them doing their favorite thing. So with Fred, it was running, which is why the sound was weird.
Oh, funny. Yeah, you're both just sprinting.
We weren't sprinting, but the microphone was like,
of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, way to go for it.
Yeah. But I think it's fun to just explore. I mean, a lot of our vendors have become friends and they're all cool people doing cool things. So yeah, just get out of the office a little bit into the real world.
How would you say the relationship that the vendor, the brand has with you is different than a typical relationship that a brand would have with a traditional grocery store?
Well, they all have my cell phone number. So there's one.
Yeah, they're not going through a distributor and then they don't have to all these layers.
Yeah. I think so. We actually care about them.
Yeah.
If you're a traditional grocery store, you don't care about the brand. You care how much money they can make you.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of hidden fees.
There's a lot. It is so hard.
A lot of people lose money in grocery.
Absolutely.
And they use it as just kind of like marketing or, hey, look, we've got some credibility. We're in Whole Foods. Even though we lose $1 per unit, we hope to make it up with our online sales.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I know several brands that have gone out of business because they went into grocery,
Yeah.
and the amount, then they don't pay you for, traditionally, they don't pay you for 90, 120 days.
Yeah.
And there's all types of free fill and slotting fees and marketing. There's all, and then there's a distributor in the middle that's taking 5, 10, 20%.
And you
And
have to use their distributor.
yeah.
And then what's also interesting is that those distributors, they use the bigger grocery stores just to drive volume, and they don't make any money off of them. So the big grocery stores get everything at cost from the distributors. And then the little guys like us pay way more.
Oh, wow.
So there's products that literally when they're on sale, when there's like a prime sale at Whole Foods, it's less than what we would pay through our distributor,
Wow.
which is crazy.
Is that what you're saying? As you grow, you can get more, you can get access to better pricing, or I'm hearing you on your structures and processes and things like that. But is there more economy of scale that's going to be available to you in those ways?
There is for sure. Through some of those distributors, through the big ones, you have to be a lot bigger
Okay.
till you're really seeing that. But through like our more local distributors and the things that we get in bulk, like when you go from getting a 5 gallon bucket of something to getting a 55 gallon barrel, there's a huge cost savings there. And then
Mhm.
another one when you go to get a tote, which is a pallet sized
Mhm.
thing, 250 gallons.
Hmm.
So there's some big cost savings there for sure. But it's more from like when you go direct to a producer or a manufacturer or grower. Like if we just started getting rice in pallets because we have this beautiful partnership with a local distributor called Hardy Provisions that sources from a lot of local
Oh yeah,
farms.
Roberto, he's been on the
Oh
podcast. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
he's awesome.
He is awesome and
We
carries
worked.
great brands and does great work.
Yeah, he's amazing. We
Yeah,
work together with them a lot. They also do our deliveries in Denver, and we actually just opened up our deliveries to the entire Denver metro area,
cool.
even like all the way to Golden to Aurora to Highlands Ranch to Thornton.
I've helped
B-
him start his podcast. I was his first guest, and we filmed it here.
Nice.
And I was just like, "Hey, let's just trade." And he brought me a big box of a bunch of the brands that he distributes.
Nice.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're doing all of our deliveries now, which is awesome because they can just work it into the delivery routes they already have. So it's more efficient.
And they're bringing a bunch of this healthy food into the school system. That's
Yes.
like one of my favorite stories
Yes.
of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, they're great. We love them.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's so nice to work with another like, mission-driven brand because, when we have conversations, like, of course, money and profit is part of it, but there's so much more to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we source some things with them, and so now we can get pallets of rice instead of bags of rice,
Hmm.
and the price is way better on that. And
That's part of his vision too, is this co-opting, this collective buying, because he can, if you can get a bunch of people to go in on a pallet, and then you could all share the savings.
yeah, that's what we do together.
Yeah, that's
It's great.
unbelievable. Yeah.
And it allows you to go right to the farmer.
Mm.
And then you can choose the farmers that have like the best practices instead of when
Mhm.
you go through a distributor, like we use an organic distributor, and they do source well, but we can't choose who we're sourcing from
Mhm.
necessarily.
What so you do the deal on Shark Tank, that closes. When that closes, what do you think happens next? Well, how do you think that they're going to support you? Where do they'll invest, they're going to invest, and that's great support, but where else do you think besides investment might they support?
So it's really important for us to get outside of the niche because we believe quite strongly that what is considered the conventional food system is broken and is not what should continue. And we need to bring the system that we're creating more into the masses. And we don't want this to be just for a few people in Boulder and Denver. We want this to be for everyone. And so getting people, especially people that aren't necessarily even like sustainability nerds, just
Mhm.
regular old people,
Yeah.
but with a lot of followers, with some national attention, getting them on board and helping us spread this message and talk about it on a national platform is really key for our growth.
Could this be a franchise, or how do you see the? Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways that we could expand. So we need to have kind of this central distribution center because we do all this packaging and that can supply many different stores. So we want to do that here on the Front Range first and get at least 5 stores here so we can show that, there's demand for it. People want this. We can have good margins that make sense. And then we can take that to another metropolitan area and do the same thing.
What would you say your superpowers are in this business?
Probably just relating to people and figuring out how all the people work together and how we can have partnerships and create systems that make this work. And then it's so complicated. There's so many moving parts, and I'm pretty good at like holding a lot of stuff in my brain, which can be good sometimes and can have its drawbacks. But I can kind of hold it all in there and mess with pieces and figure out how to like tweak and make improvements and improve our systems and improve efficiency. And, like if we change this thing over here, how is it going to affect this thing over here? And it's hard I'm sure AI can do that someday, but that's hard to do like in a spreadsheet, The human brain works pretty well for doing that. So I think being able to hold all of that and my capacity to hold all of that without getting stressed has grown over the years, which is nice, I guess.
Have you ever compared structures, processes with Roberto? Because I know he's very strong in those ways too.
We haven't so
because
much.
he has fractional executives that support him too, that have come from big organizations and bringing their best practices in. And that is what has helped him to free him up more, to be more creative and be more in the media marketing kind of space, instead of, as you're saying, hold it all in the brain. And he's like the center of it, creating these systems around. So if he takes off time or wants to go do some side project, he's able to do that.
That's cool. Yeah. I got to talk to Roberto more.
Talk to Roberto more. He could be your first interview.
That's true.
He could, and I could help.
All right.
So the path of entrepreneurship for me has been one of self-discovery and growth. What have you learned about yourself on this path of entrepreneurship? Who have you built yourself into? Who are you today that the version of you from 5-10 years ago would be really proud of?
There's definitely been a lot of growth. It really tests you.
That's the path of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. I mean, I've become so much more self-aware and just really like developed a better understanding of who I am and, what I'm feeling and how I'm affected by different things. And then also gotten a lot better at working with those things that might be affecting me, not necessarily running away from the discomfort, but learning when to embrace it and feel it and when to kind of like work through it and be done with it. And yeah, I've definitely developed a lot of confidence as well. And
one of my favorite things about you.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, there's so many little things like, better communication skills, better interpersonal skills, better management skills, better business skills. Really, yeah, it's a good way to test all of you at once.
And so when those discomforts come up now, how do you relate to them?
It really depends. Like sometimes I want to explore it and dissect it a little bit and be like, why am I feeling like this? What is this coming from? Other times it's kind of just, okay, this is just how we need to feel right now, and I'm gonna let it be. And other times I know exactly what's happening, and that's when more in the, okay, this is something that needs to be worked through and moved through, and I don't need to be feeling this anymore. So, I think I used to be a lot more afraid of those feelings, and I haven't completely
same
gotten through that. It definitely can still feel fear there. Like, I don't know, why did I wake up feeling like this today?
Mhm. Well, just some of the fears that you've been working on. Could you share what some of those fears are? And I could share first. For me, I've been doing the microgreens business for over 6 years, and I have this fear of like, I don't know if I'm smart enough to do this. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's this not enoughness. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do this. Mostly because it's smart. I'm like, I think I got to be really smart to do it, which I'm thinking less and less of. I think it's more intuition and really trying to be in a prayerful way with it, working hard, but allowing to be like met halfway. This podcast and putting myself out here in this kind of a way, this was a huge growth edge for me. I'm like, oh, putting my thoughts out here on the first podcast, I'm like, I didn't even say a word. I just asked a question on a sheet of paper. And then it was like, now I'm like, okay, how much of myself can I be? How authentic can I be? And because when I lean into the things that are fearful for me, that's where I find the most growth. I'm not going to grow that much just doing things that don't scare me. But there's a lot of growth on the other side of doing the things that I'm scared of.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to kind of be forced into it sometimes because
Yes.
we don't like to do scary
And
things.
entrepreneurship forces you. It's like grow or die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And once you've started the thing, it's like, okay, well, stopping it would be bad for a lot of people. So kind of just got to keep going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fears I have. I mean, it totally gets you on the am I good enough to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Because if the business is growing, the second you start to feel comfortable and you're like, okay, I got this, something changes and you
Mm-hmm.
have to learn something
Mm-hmm.
else.
There's always the next level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or just even if nothing changes, when you start to feel like you kind of got it, you discover 5 more things that you could be doing better at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, yeah, constant growth, constantly feeling like you're incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no one above you to tell you that you're doing a good job
Right.
or to tell you where you need to be doing better.
Yeah.
And you can ask for feedback from employees and colleagues and everything.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot. But you don't necessarily have that guidance. We do have an amazing board now that
Mm-hmm.
is so supportive and so helpful.
Mm.
And I've had a lot of really helpful mentors and coaches and teachers that have been great. But, at the end of the day, you're kind of, it's you. You have to figure
I
it
can
out.
see you mentoring others. Does that come up?
Yeah, I mean, even with our vendors that are starting out,
Mm.
I like to kind of help them out and give them, because, the government, it's hard to find all the information you need.
Yeah.
It's really helpful to just have like here's all the licenses you need.
Yeah.
Like, here's where you're going to have problems. Like, here's how to think about your pricing strategy. And when I was first starting out, I had so many people that sat down for an hour or two and just kind of like answered all my questions. And that's how
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of my learning.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are so generous.
They are,
And
especially in this space. I came from 10 years of technology. It's not the same.
yeah.
I didn't really make cool friends or interesting connections, or everyone is, if you're good at software sales, it's because you are extremely money motivated and that's all you care about, really. And yeah, you want to learn and you want it to be, a nice workplace, but there's a lot of alcohol, and I know that's in a lot of kind of careers in a lot of spaces. But in our space, I find it very collaborative. People want everybody to succeed. It's like we're all on this mission to help people be a little bit healthier, help the environment, help the animals, help the plants, help ourselves, help our communities. It's like there's like a real goodness here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think people know how hard it is too.
Mm.
And, most of these businesses are going to fail.
Mm-hmm. What percent, like what you might see coming through your,
Oh, that we see?
because I think on average, it might be around 90 plus
Yeah,
percent.
I think it is around 90 on average. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's pretty common. We usually, I mean, maybe not usually, but we often will like buy up the rest of the inventory of a
Mhm.
company or something like
Yeah.
that. So kind of help them out. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
We've ended up with a lot of tempeh by doing that.
Oh, nice. Shout out Griffin.
Yeah.
Shout out Griffin.
Thanks, Griffin.
Thanks, Griffin. Yeah, he was in town recently, and I asked him to be on the podcast. And he's gotten back into real estate. I think he moved out to New York. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
It's an easier job.
Yeah, right. He built an unbelievable. I'm sure you toured his facility when
Yeah.
he was in production. Like unbelievable. He really went for it, and I just respect that so much. People that take on so much overhead
Yeah.
and so much responsibility and just labor and just like, whoa, we really went for it. And tempeh is amazing. I never had tempeh before him.
Well, we've still got it.
Oh, you still have his tempeh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We bought everything he had
oh,
left.
nice. Oh, nice. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What if someone's visiting Nude Food for the first time? What maybe are the 3 things that you'd recommend that they try?
If you eat meat, you should definitely try the wild boar.
Mm-hmm.
We have it in jerky form, sausage form with no nitrates,
Mm-hmm.
or just, good old meat.
Mm-hmm.
So would definitely recommend that.
Good old meat form. Nice. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. We have like ground, and we have little itty bitty wild boar chops. Much
Nice.
smaller than what you get from a pig.
Where's that boar coming from?
It comes from Texas.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us the other 2, and then I want to dive into boar a little bit.
Could talk about boar all day. The other 2, you have to try Kevin's skyr yogurt.
I have a bunch of times. Many times at the farmer's market, I was right next to him, and we'd always trade. And yeah.
Yeah, that is my breakfast many days. What else? You should probably try a Rev kombucha. It's really good for people that think they don't like kombucha. It's made with it's just another one of those things where it's like it's made with really good ingredients, and it's made with intention and like with the good process, and it just creates a really delicious product.
Now before boar, I'm going to have Jamba of Rowdy Mermaid on the podcast next week. He sold the brand. He's not involved in it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's looking for his next project
out of the
now.
loop.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, congratulations to him.
Mm-hmm.
Who did he sell to?
I don't know the name of who he sold to, but I can ask him that next week. I did a prep interview with him, and a little teaser. He is like a bleeding edge expert on Egypt.
Okay.
So we spent like 2 hours. We were scheduled for an hour. Maybe we went 2.5 hours. And maybe like an hour and a half of it was like just Egypt. Because I've got all these conspiracies about Egypt. And he was just like debunk. But I'm gonna come with more. I'm gonna come with facts.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he's way because the Egyptians, they created time apparently too. Like we never even had a concept of time before the Egyptians. They created the first clock, and that's what really brought him into that. I mean, he's got like a PhD in it, I think.
Wow.
He does have a PhD. I think it's in something like that, but he's incredibly fascinating. Like he's like a Renaissance man.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So kegs. Yeah. One other.
One other. You could ask him if he's ever eaten a SCOBY.
Mm-hmm. They had a whole in-house science department team.
Wow.
And they had, I think they maybe even like patented some, I don't know all the words, scobies, microbe, things like that, so that you could keep it low sugar, so that you can make it without tea. A lot of theirs is made with just different types of herbs, no black tea or green tea, which is traditional kombucha.
I actually have a great question.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Rachel.
So thank you, Stephen. When you make yogurt or cheese, you end up with a lot of whey. For cheese, it's actually 90%. So when you have your milk, it separates into curds and whey, like a little Bo Peep. You get 10% curds, 90% whey. And for larger, like industrial dairy farms or processing facilities, that can be turned into whey protein, so whey protein is like a waste product, which is pretty cool. But for small farms, it's hard to do something with it. And so a lot of farms will just throw it away, which is devastating because it's really good stuff. It's like if you have a glass of milk and you just pour 90% of it down the drain.
Yeah.
Like so sad. There is a way to make a fermented whey drink. And I would like someone to do that.
That's a great idea. I think Kevin's the guy for it.
I have facilitated getting some of Kevin's whey to Fred at Rev Kombucha to experiment. We have not quite had success just yet, and I'm still trying, but I'm just putting it out there if anyone else.
I've experimented with Kevin on a whey powder, where he's brought me gallons and gallons of it, and I've freeze dried it.
Cool.
And then I'm like, oh, did we just make whey protein? Well, it turns out there's another step.
Gotta isolate it.
Some isolate, because it was just like mostly fat, which is still good. People need fat, but there's some next step. And then working with dairy is unbelievably complex. There's just so many fortunate and maybe unfortunate rules around it. So we just kind of like pause that. But he is, that's great. I'm glad that you're in the same thinking of it. I have a friend that started a company called Wayward Spirits, and she's making alcohol out of waste.
Yeah.
So she might be the one, and she's gotten some pretty big government grants as well. She's out in California, won a bunch of awards, has got some great investors. And yeah, we could talk more about that off air. Maybe I don't know what it's like to carry alcohol for you guys, but she's a winner.
Yeah, alcohols be tough, but there is a way to do it without making it alcoholic.
Okay.
There was a company that was doing it and they didn't keep doing it, but it's possible.
Maybe you could buy the recipe off of them. Be like, we'll give you $200. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, maybe.
Why not?
I think they might want more than that.
Okay. Well, be like, you go Shark Tank style. Be like, hey, we'll give you a royalty.
Yeah.
They love royalties on Shark Tank.
They do.
Especially Kevin.
Kevin especially.
Nice. This podcast is brought to you by BeMicro, organic freeze-dried microgreens for easy, everyday nutrition. Sprinkle them on any meal and enjoy the benefits. Shop now at BeMicro.farm and use PLANT15 to save 15% off your next order. All right, so now back to boar. Tell us about boar. What is the state of boar? What do you know about boar? What's been your experience with boar? Because I know it's been pretty life-changing for you.
So boar, like lionfish, are an invasive species in the United States and Mexico. And they're also delicious and edible. There's millions of them in the US, and they cause billions of dollars in damage every year to the ground property because they like to root for their food. So they can really just dig up a lot of space. And we do eat them a little bit, but we have this thing in the US, we like to eat 3 animals mostly, pretty much, which is chicken, pigs, and cows, and then turkey, but only on Thanksgiving and no other time.
Yeah, right.
And anything outside of that, people are very wary of. Like maybe you'll try some lamb.
I do duck eggs every day.
Duck's great. Yeah.
Native to Colorado. They're happy here.
Awesome. Yeah. But boar is not seen as a normal food for us to eat. And that's a shame because it's delicious. It is truly wild. They are running around, leading beautiful little lives, and also being destructive. And they're a great food for us to eat. So at Nude Foods, we sell a lot of boar. We make a lot of products with boar. We have like some wild boar breakfast burritos, and we make a lot of our meals with boar. Next week, we're doing wild boar tacos.
I went to your, was it Thanksgiving or Christmas party? Thanksgiving party, and you made some boar hams.
Yes.
And that was, the first time I tried boar was you gave me some boar jerky. I was like, that's great. And then the boar ham, I was like, that's great.
Really good. Yeah.
And they're eating it just off the land, a wide range of things, a much healthier diet than eating just what pigs eat, what are they eating? Just grains. And what's your personal journey with the boar?
So when I had this idea from the PCT, and it's very complicated and difficult, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no business experience. And so I moved back to Boulder, also because it's a food startup mecca. And I started a different business where I made meal bars and wild boar jerky and sold them at farmers markets, and I sold the bars at some local grocery stores. And because I thought jerky was a good entry way for people to try boar, because there is a lot of hesitancy, but jerky, people will eat anything. And there's already kind of this thing around like weird types of jerky, like alligator jerky.
Yeah. I was just in Florida and got some alligator jerky.
Yeah.
For jerky, you're right. That's so interesting.
Yeah,
just like the psychology around the food that we eat.
I know, it's crazy. I was still a vegetarian at this time. I would like, I guess not 100%, because I would try like, I developed my own recipes and everything. And so I would try things to make sure they tasted good, but I wasn't like really eating it. And that eventually led me to starting Nude Foods when the stars kind of aligned. And a couple years into that, at another Thanksgiving, which for Thanksgiving every year, I make a boar leg or a boar ham instead of a turkey because it's more sustainable. And I did this even before I ate meat. And
You were making turkey for everyone, but you weren't eating it.
not turkey, boar.
Oh, excuse me, boar, but you weren't eating it then.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the boar is what inspired you to transition out of being vegan?
Basically, yeah. So it's Thanksgiving one year and I made the boar like usual. And I, for some reason, just felt like I wanted to try it. And I did. And then I was like, oh, I need more of that, which I had not felt for the 15 years before that.
Your
And I-
body was hungry for it.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's because I'd gotten into lifting.
Oh, okay. You needed more of that protein,
I
more
think
of the.
so. Because it was like all of a sudden I was just like, oh, wow, I need meat. And I never felt like that before.
Do you think it's healthy to be vegan for someone's whole life? Now we're all different, or do you think there's seasons of it, like vegan for a few years, meat for
I think that totally depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think some people can happily, healthily be vegan their whole life. I think a lot of people appreciate some flexibility, which is why I really like what we do because we provide meat options that people can feel good about.
Mm.
And that allows a lot of people that might have had a very strict diet to be a little bit more flexible.
Mhm.
And I think that allows you to stick with a diet for life instead of being really strict for a couple years and then going totally off of it, you
Mhm.
know? Like I know people that will only eat the boar and no other meat, which I think is awesome.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah. Or I know someone that only eats meat once a year. But again, it has to be wild. So boar or some sort of hunted game.
Mhm.
I'm from Alaska, so I have a lot of friends that will only eat wild meat,
Mhm.
nothing from a farm.
That's
and
a
will
real
watch.
luxury nowadays.
Yeah, it can
Mhm.
only really works if you're in like Alaska or
Mhm.
somewhere with a lot of deer.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I think that having that flexibility is really important for a lot of people to be able to maintain something long term. Because if you feel like you're denying yourself all the time, you might be able to do that for a while, but you probably can't do it for life. And it also might not feel as fulfilling if you're always like, oh, I can't have that, you
Mhm.
know? So trying to make it so you can have what you want,
Mhm.
but in a way that's really supportive.
Well, I'd love to gift you some microgreens.
Thanks.
I've got two options here. I've
Yeah.
got a blend of broccoli, radish, and red cabbage, and that's in a capsule form.
Mhm.
And then I have just straight broccoli in a powder form.
I think I'm gonna try the blend.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's your experience with microgreens? What do you know about microgreens?
I've grown them a lot in a little jar.
Those are sprouts.
Is that not the same?
And it's not the same. So sprouts are phase one of the plant's life, typically grown in a mason jar,
Uh-huh.
2 to 4 days old. There's no growing medium. They're not exposed to the light. You got to change the water
Yeah.
frequently. There's some higher risk of bacteria like E. coli, salmonella, things like that. I'm sure you were very clean with it, but sometimes if it feels like a little off or upsets your stomach, it's like they can go bad kind of quickly. But there's a lot of sprouts are very popular because they are so easy to grow and
Very
they're
easy.
really, really quick. Microgreens are phase two of the plant's life. They've grown a couple more leaves. They're grown in a growing medium, and they go through photosynthesis. They're exposed to the light, typically grown in a greenhouse. A microgreen is about 10 times as nutrient dense as or nutritious as a sprout.
Wow. I feel so uninformed. Well, now I feel informed.
Yeah, now you're on it. Now you're on it.
Wow. That's cool. My experience with microgreens has mostly been like putting them on top of salads and
What kind were you growing?
oh, for the sprouts, just like you get like the mix of seeds. Yeah.
Like a brassica mix, like the broccoli, radish, cabbage.
Yeah.
That's very popular. Both of these are very popular. Brassica is very popular in these because there's a lot of studies about their benefits.
Oh, I like it because they're spicy.
Oh, nice. That could have been maybe like a radish. That's
Yeah.
that's got a good spice to it.
Yeah, or like baby arugula. That's good. Oh, love arugula. That's my favorite salad is arugula with goat cheese from Yodar Farm, which is Southern Colorado, and strawberries and then some toasted nuts. So good.
Now we're talking. What type of dressing?
I will either do just balsamic vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pepper, or if I'm at work, I'll have our balsamic vinaigrette, which is basically those same ingredients plus Dijon mustard.
Oh, nice.
It's delicious.
Any other thoughts on microgreens?
Any other thoughts on microgreens?
Yeah, just make a little microgreens commercial for me, please. It's
Microgreens, the most nutrient dense food on the planet.
That was fantastic. First take, nailed it. Is there anything else that you want to share about anything at all? Anything that we didn't cover, or any message that you want to make sure that you...
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about it, but just to put a pin on it, we have this intimate relationship with food. There's not a lot of things that we let inside of our bodies, right? We should be, maybe.
I'm very discerning.
Nice work. And, you can be as discerning or as not discerning as you want, but it's a special relationship. Like most of the things that we interact with in the day aren't going inside of us. And I think it's an important choice. And I don't think that we should be letting corporations make that choice for us because they do not have our best interests in mind. They have profit in mind and literally nothing else.
What's the biggest objection that you come across when people are like, well, how do I get access, or how do I afford it, or where do people have these mental blocks?
I think for a lot of people, it's just change. It's a habit change. And, we all probably started going to the grocery store with our parents when we were wee ones, sitting in the cart, and we watched them shop. And that's how we learned to shop. And it's been very ingrained in us from birth, basically. And it's hard to change those practices and those habits. And most of us trust our parents. We think that they're probably making good decisions. And we trust the brands that they trusted. And that's very, very ingrained in us. And we also are constantly bombarded with advertising, convincing us to trust these brands. And it's really hard to step away from that and say, okay, I'm going to trust this little grocery store instead. But we really care more than they do. It's literally why we exist. And I think it's hard to get people to understand that they can do all of their shopping with us and that we have everything that they want. It just might not look exactly like what they're used to. And that we're not expensive. We price check everything against Whole Foods. So if you're already shopping at Whole Foods, you can shop with us. It's the same thing. We have certain products that are locally made, handmade, and those are going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's the same price. Those same products are sold elsewhere. We're not hiking up the prices. We really try to be as affordable and accessible as we can. We also have a lot of options. If you're more on a budget, we have a bulk section. You can fill your own containers. That's like 15% less than getting it in the jar. We have a free produce section. You can literally just come in and take as much as you want. Whenever a product is on its second to last day, it goes to 50% off. So you can just go shop the 50% off shelf. That's great. There's a lot of deals.
And for those that aren't in the Colorado area, what advice might you give them shopping and whatever, they're on the East Coast, and they're like, how should I go about this in a simple way? What's a good first step or mindset?
I think avoiding processed foods as much as possible. And I think it's Michael Pollan that gave this advice to just shop the edges of the grocery store. You just don't even go in the middle. That's where your problems are. But you get your produce, you can get your whole grains, your nuts, your seeds, meat and dairy if you eat that. Just the more that you are purchasing single ingredients, the cleaner it's going to be. And of course, not everyone has the time or the desire to make food themselves, which is totally fine. I get that. But I think we're always complaining about how expensive food is. And then we go and spend $7 on a coffee or $12 on a hamburger or $30 to get something delivered from DoorDash. And if we maybe just rethink our priorities a little bit, just a little bit, instead of getting those conveniences that are very expensive, you can get, really high quality prepared foods that are nourishing and full of really delicious ingredients that are good for the environment. And it's not going to cost you more than getting a DoorDash hamburger to your house.
Mm-hmm. How I think about eating is it's whole foods, mostly plants, as local as possible, and try to connect in with a CSA or a local farmer for meat, dairy, eggs, cheese, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you are able to do those things, that's amazing. You can also, farmers market can be a little out of reach as well, but a lot of farms will have seconds. If you have the time, almost every farm has some sort, well, not almost every farm, but a lot of farms will have some volunteer program that you can volunteer, and it's not much, like a few hours a week in exchange for a CSA share, which is awesome. You get you outside, you're in the sun, you get your hands in the dirt.
Connect with some other good people.
Yeah. So, maybe like 2 hours less of scrolling on your phone, 2 hours out on the
But I'm
farm.
addicted, Rachel. I'm addicted.
I know, it's tough.
Yeah, get outside. That's the answer. More nature.
Yeah, you probably feel really good. I mean, I don't have a CSA now because I have a grocery store, but
Yeah, I have. That's an interesting sentence. Not many people can say that. I have a grocery store.
Yeah. But when I lived in Florida, I had a CSA that I split with my roommates, and it was so affordable. Like I paid $20 a week, and I ate all of my meals
It
out of
seems
that
like a
thing.
life hack, the CSAs. Yeah, incredible value.
Yeah. And I mean, Florida especially had like so much variety and weird stuff like that I'd never cooked before, and they would include a recipe, and that's so good. Of course, you need the time to do that. I get it. We don't all have it.
I pretty much cook the same thing every single day. Morning, it's duck eggs, 2 to 3 with an avocado. I start with fruit because it leads to like indigestion if I have fruit after these other things. Some cheese, some green tea, some kimchi or sauerkraut, and just like a bunch of water. And then for lunch, I'll have salmon, typically salmon and some more fruit. And then for dinner, it's some ground beef, typically some baked vegetables, and that's pretty much what I eat every single day.
Sounds pretty simple. I'm a big fan of like making a big pot of something and eating it all week.
Me too. Chelsea hates leftovers.
Yeah.
I think she saw something somewhere where she's like, if something's like more than 2 days old, it's gonna kill you. And I think that stayed with her. But I'm about that. I'm like, I used to make
This gets more flavorful.
yeah, I used to make pressure cookers that was like many days worth of food. But yeah, now we're, I don't know, made to order now.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to share or leave us with? Maybe a song?
A song? I'm not a very good singer.
That's not what I would have guessed. My intuition, I'm listening, and it's like, it's singing time. You got this camera and this camera and this camera.
Do you want to sing?
My best song is Happy Birthday. It's my most practiced song.
That makes sense.
And every time I sing it, I feel really confident about it.
Yeah. Is it because you're always singing it in a group?
No, it's mostly for myself. Somebody's birthday, I send them like a voice note, and I'll sing happy birthday to start, and then I'll say what, I don't know, just some words of encouragement.
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Okay. Well, it's not my birthday.
Okay.
When's your birthday?
January 4.
January 4?
I turned 40. That's when that's when we were in Taos, New Mexico. Chelsea and I picked out the engagement ring. We also got a bunch of stones for our sweat. We were right by the river there and grabbed like 30 huge stones that we'll sweat with this Saturday. Would love to sweat with you if you have you sweat?
Not. I'm a little afraid.
It's no problem. And for a new person, they're so sweet. And it's for community sweat, they're so sweet. I've only had to leave a sweat twice, and or 3 times. And that's when like Danae medicine men were leading it. But the type of sweat that we do here, Community Lodge in Boulder, really sweet. That everyone's taken care of. There's kids in there sometimes. There's babies in there.
I think if there's a baby in there, I can do it.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. Everybody's taken care of in a really good way. It's really sweet. It's good medicine. It's thought of as like the womb. It's like a rebirth thing. And there's many rounds. The first round's calling in your ancestors and your, spirit guides and helpers, the angels, like calling in all of your team. Second is the prayer. Third round is typically the hardest round. That's the healing round. That's the hottest round. And then the fourth round is the, sending all those prayers out and letting those spirits, go back to where they're going. And yeah, it's really beautiful. You're invited.
Okay.
You said it's circling you now.
Yeah.
It's circling you.
Okay.
Invite me to one too.
I don't think I can invite you to one until I've been to one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, there's one this Saturday.
This Saturday.
It starts at 11:30. Arrive by 10:30. Chelsea will be there as well. This will be her second one. I'll get there probably around 8:30. Help with the fire, and then it's usually about 3 hours in there. So maybe we would leave by like 2 or 3, and then there's a potluck at the end, and it's just really sweet. Great people. It's a beautiful prayer. I always feel like really shined up and like emptied out. Just cleaned out, mostly of social media. That's the thing that creeps into me the most. That's
it's so tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Yep.
Your birthday was January 4th and you were in
Mhm.
New Mexico. My birthday was February 2nd and I was in New Mexico.
Where in New Mexico were you?
Kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. Like what
like
part of it?
an hour east of Santa Fe.
Okay. We were in Taos, just outside of Taos. There's some hot springs there. Were you doing hot springs or?
We did go to the hot springs in Las
Nice.
Vegas.
In Las Vegas?
Yes. There's a
Las Vegas, New Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. I love hot springs.
Yeah.
Fun. Beautiful.
Yeah, there's some really cool ones there. They're just like free and open to the public.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love New Mexico. I don't know if I've adventured down there a few times. Like, could I live here? Could I live here? Part of me thinks yes. Part of me just really wants to be around more water too.
I grew up in a very water-rich place.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to be away from all the greenery. It's so life-giving.
Yeah, especially this year. This is maybe the biggest winter drought, the worst snow on record.
It's pretty intense.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
And through that, Chelsea works in water. She works for a nonprofit and she helps with water rights and just that type of a way. And she was telling me that it's very unnatural to live on the Front Range, that most of our water is piped in through dams and aquifer and whatever. It's like, if we didn't have all this piping, like there wouldn't be water out here. And Denver will be tapping into its reserves. It has a 3-year reserve, but it will tap into one of those years of reserve this year, because all that snow typically melts, and then that's our water for, through the spring, summer, fall, and we don't have it.
Yeah. So grasses, because they're perennial, have very deep roots. And so in this climate, we get most of our rain in the spring, and that seeps down into the soil, but it doesn't disappear. And the grasses can actually use that rain for months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Whereas you compare that to annual plants, and they have very shallow roots, and you have to keep putting more and more water on them. But that's why grazing makes a lot of sense here, because we live on a prairie. It's made to be grazed. And the grasses are much more efficient at using water than a lot of these other plants.
Eat more grass.
Or eat the things that are eating the grass.
Eat the things that eat the grass. There we go.
Yeah.
I think we'll end it on that.
But in moderation.
In moderation. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Where can people learn more about you and Nude Foods?
NudeFoodsMarket.com. We're at Nude Foods Market on the socials that we love so much.
Boulder location, Denver location.
Yeah. Boulder location is on 33rd and Walnut next to Twisted Pine. Denver location is 44th and Lowell. It's like northwest Denver a little bit. So.
Every time I visit that one, there's a place that does like these bison bowls, like some type of.
Tocave?
Yeah.
We love Tocave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Ben that owns that is awesome. And they're doing a lot of cool things too. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Well, thank you, Rachel.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Okay. See you, everybody.